Good morning and welcome to the NuSpecies Live. I am Jillian.
And I'm Aston. Good morning.
All right, I am hoping that everyone can hear me. I promised I was going to go straight into the intro and pretend like there might not be a technical issue, but I want to make sure everyone can hear. So if you can, I'm going to move on with the intro, and if you are not able to hear, please let us know.
Good morning, NRE.
Yes, good morning, NRE. All right, I will wait to see there. Okay. I am engineering the show on my own today, so you're going to be seeing me poking around on things. Please forgive.
And I'll just sit here lazy and just watch the show like you.
All right. Well, welcome to the NuSpecies Live. I'm Jillian. This is Aston. NuSpecies' mission is to help our clients live better and longer. NuSpecies invents and manufactures our own line of high potency herbal formulas that are designed to help your body be resilient against the toughest of health challenges.
Mm-hmm.
We are all on our own health journey, and a good health choice truly means something different for each of us. And that's why we host this Q&A every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. so that you can get the answers to your questions that will help you to continue along your own unique health journey. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Awesome. And you use a keyword there. Everything you said was key, but we invent our own formulas, and we have our newest formula, NuGenesis. A lot of you are taking it. I hope you are enjoying it, and I'm hoping it's making you all feel better. And those of you who are not on it, get your butts on it right away. I want all NuSpecies on it. All NuSpecies. All right.
All right. I just changed to your camera a little bit too late, so now everyone's staring at you.
That's okay.
All right, let's go back to the two shot. All right. Good morning, Richard. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Suzanne, July. Hi, Fitzgerald. Thank you all for being with us today. Feel free to start posting your questions into the chat.
Our comments.
Or comments or topics that you're interested in. Hi, Derekford. One of the things you can do is, I know you may always know you're going to join the stream, and then you think you're going to remember what you want to say once you get here, but then you forget.
Mm-hmm.
So on our app, please download our app off of your app store on your phone. And on our app, you can submit questions anytime throughout the week, and then we get them directly by email, and then we can be prepared to answer your questions once we get on the show. So you can submit your questions at any time during the week.
Yep. And I've been getting a lot of questions about NuGenesis. Mm-hmm. So we have been providing it to you without a label. I think we now have a label that we're going to add to it, but we're still going to discount it at the extremely high level. We're discounting it because we want all of you to be on it, not to try it, to use it, because it's been around for years now. At least 2 to 4 years it's been around. People have been using it. So it's not an experiment. It's not a trial. It is not a trial. I want all of you to be on it. So some of you have asked me what it is. So NuGenesis is our newest formula. Those of you who don't know what it is, and I would say it's probably one of the final links in our formulations and NuSpecies formulas that we have been inventing, right? Is probably one of the final links. So yes, the B vitamins rebuild the genes and rebuild the DNA, right? You all know that by now from just being on the show. But your B vitamins you're taking, if it's not NuSpecies, make sure it is completely natural and it's from whole food. It has to be from whole foods. If it's not from whole foods, it's not going to rebuild your genes. It's not going to rebuild your DNA. It's not going to support your body because they're compounds. Compounds are never going to support our bodies. Compounds can't. They're made in labs. They're chemical compounds. So B vitamins support genes and DNA. The NuGenesis support genes and DNA in a completely different way. So the NuGenesis, it also powers the immune system to help to rebuild the genes and the DNA. And that is the key. So the NuGenesis support the genes, the DNA. If you have chemicals or compounds surround or even viral particles, bacterial particles interacting with your genes and DNA. That's what causes mutations and malignancy. The new genesis is going to help the immune system to fix the genes, fix the DNA. And guess what? If the immune system is not able to do it, the immune system will kick in what's called the apoptosis process. You should all Google apoptosis right now. It means the cell is forced to kill itself. That's what sick cells do, people. That's what cancer cells are supposed to do. Sick cells, mutated cells, malignant cells are supposed to kill itself, or it's supposed to disintegrate on its own if it can't be rebuilt, if the cell can't be fixed. So new genesis is going to help the immune system to do that as well. That's why this formula is key for everybody, men, women, and children. So if you're taking your system for prostate or diabetes or cancer or precancer or whatever you're taking, add this formula in, and you probably don't have to take it every day unless you really need to. But the new Genesis, that's what it is. It is based on the ingredients that are in it. It's going to promote chemotherapeutic, natural. Our bodies from herbs and plants and foods can perform its own chemotherapeutic process. That's what apoptosis says. And it can perform its own antibiotic process if our bodies gets what it needs. It can perform its own immunotherapy, where the immune system is powered up to kill a new virus, to kill a new bacteria, to kill a new microbe. And that's the body that God gave us. And if you give it what it needs, as you've heard us say it 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times over the last how many years, almost 2 decades, you give your body what it needs, your body will find a way to repair itself. So, New Genesis is one of the final chapters in our new species formula to support the body.
And the good news is it's probably one of our best tasting products.
Yes, a lot of.
It's a big relief.
A client came in yesterday when I was in Bronxville, and I offered them a taste of the. I actually did it last week too with a kid who came in. A couple of kids came in. One didn't want to try it, and they didn't mind the taste. Actually, it tastes good for whatever reasons. It's not by design, and it doesn't mean that it's not good because it doesn't taste bad.
Right. Well, actually, it's like you take it and you're like, oh, this tastes good, and then it kind of gets you in the end a little bit, but overall, it's one of our better tasting products.
It is.
Charles Crane has a question for you. I don't. You might want to address it. He said, "Aston, you didn't call me yesterday for my appointment."
Oh yes. So Charles, I was in they put me in the Bronxville office yesterday, the Bronxville store. And there are a number of people who I didn't call. And Charles, unfortunately, you now qualify as family. Just like Fitzgerald Dillon. I haven't called them in 2 or 3 days myself. I'm going to give you guys a call today. And there are a few others of you who I didn't call. So once you become New Species family, you can expect to be treated like family.
That means worse.
That means I have a license not to call you
Oh, geez.
on time. But I'm gonna call both of you today, Charles and Fitzgerald.
All right, great. Anybody else want to complain? All right.
Now's the time to get it
in. Okay, June is asking, can you explain how New Genesis and El New? Oh, that light.
It's okay.
All right, the light's gonna blink again, guys. Sorry. I did a lot of testing this week and it was so well behaved.
Maybe God is telling us something.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a good topic.
Yeah,
all right.
winking at us.
And Sean, I see you there on Instagram. See what's happening? Sean's our tech expert. Yeah. All right, June asks, can you explain how New Genesis and El New are different as for what they do for the body?
So the El New is completely different. That's a great question. I get that questions. I got that question from others as well. So it's totally different, June. The El New rebuilds the whole body, rebuilds the cells, the tissues, the organs. Right. It has the B vitamins in there which support genes and DNA as well, and it is also a multi-mineral. But then the El New has those 8 herbs in there and plants. So it's 8 herbs, plants, whole food, green foods, and these support the whole body. That's the difference with the LNU. It's the flagship that supports the whole body. The New Genesis is primarily focused on the root of diseases, the genes and DNA. Every health issue we get, it doesn't matter how tiny, it begins with the gene not functioning the way it should because of inflammation or because of infection. We all went through the pandemic and saw that. A lot of people who had diabetes, it got worse. A lot of people who just had the predisposition to diabetes, it got worse. A lot of women who have issues with hormones, it got worse. A lot of people start getting blood cancers, and you can Google it. And the NIH, the National Institutes of Health of the United States, you can research those scientific articles. So once you have viral particles or viruses, and that's why some people believe the vaccine could be affecting them as well. A lot of people have sworn to it. The government is not admitting to anything, but once you have viral particles, microbial particles, bacterial particles, any chemical structure, that's what those are. Virus, bacteria, microbes are all chemical structures interacting with the genes or the DNA. It creates sickness. Nothing is supposed to interact with the genes or the DNA except the whole foods that are processed through the cannibalistic. It's actually a cannibalistic process when it's broken down in the liver, and then all these chemicals, all these natural chemicals with the amino acids, which are the proteins, feed the genes, feed the DNA. That's how the genes and the DNA get food. The catabolic process takes place in the liver, and the anabolistic process takes place in the liver and feed the genes and the DNA. That was what we were missing from NuSpecies line of products. And as I've said to a lot of you, this new formula has been in the work for over 20 years actually. And even when we came out with it a couple of years ago and we were using it in different farms, we we actually use it a lot at home. So even our kids use it a lot at home over the last 3 years, and then there are others who use it as well. So that's why it's not a trial. But the LNU rebuilds the whole body. You should still be on it. It's not the new Genesis is not a replacement of it should be in addition to that. Now you're going to focus on your genes and DNA. Genes produce healthy proteins. All proteins are produced by our genes. You've heard the term amino acids, and that there are 11 to 21 essential amino acids. Actually, there are thousands of amino acids that are produced by our genes and DNA to support our bodies. So that's what's going to happen. This formula is going to help your body to create more healthy proteins to support the cells, support the organs, and support the body in general.
So for those who have been working with you on their health issues and they're deep in the process of they've gone through various products and combinations and doses, and they have a long history with you. Do you recommend that if they're curious about New Genesis, that they just call and talk to you to see how it can fit in to what they're doing?
They can, or just take my word for it and go ahead and get it. You can't get it on the site, so you have to call the New Species regular number, or you can go to the office. That's how you have to get it. So it's not on the website as yet. Probably won't be on the website for quite some time. So you have to call and get it. Call and purchase it, or you can go to any of the New Species stores and pick it up. But yes, if you have any questions about how it's going to work for you based on the regimen you're taking, what I've been doing for people who are not seeing results as fast as they want to. So most of you who come to me, probably 90% of you want to see results overnight. You get your New Species, and I talk to you in a week or two, and you wonder why you're not flying, with rockets. Well, for some people they do, others it takes time. But this formula will support your body to fix itself a lot faster. So it's in addition to what you're taking. But yes, if you have a budgetary issue or problem, speak with me and I can decide what you drop out and what you put in. I've been doing that with quite a few of you who just don't have the budget to do, what you're taking now, plus the new Genesis. I will work with you to make sure that you know what to drop out to be able to add the new Genesis to your regimen.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. The next question is from Florence. And then I'm gonna just answer another question quickly before you do, but I'll give you the heads up. Florence is asking, do you have anything for renal failure? But quickly, I want to get to Andrea. Andrea, you said, when should you expect your order? I just tracked it for you. It says it was delivered this morning at 9 a.m. or 8:54 to be precise. So
Mm.
if you have not been home today, then it's there. And if you are home and you don't have it, then something's wrong. So we will take care of that. But please go check for your package and let me know. You can email support at NuSpecies. I'll check the email today and let me know if there's any issue. Okay. All right. So to Florence, do we have anything for renal failure?
So, yes, we can help with renal failure. If you are on dialysis, then you need to speak with me. If you are not on dialysis, what you should do is get the God Formula 2 and the Fire Focus, which is our energy formula that provides blood circulation and oxygenation to the body. So the two formulas we have to help, with renal failure would be the God Formula 2 and the Fire Focus. Just get those two and then get on my calendar maybe a couple weeks or a month later so we can track your results. And what I advise everyone to do if they have renal failure is that they should do a lab every month, no more than 2 months. You have to do a blood test because if you have renal failure or if you have kidney or liver issues, but especially if you have renal failure, you need to know you're getting better. Unfortunately, there's no medication that I've ever heard of that can help with these conditions regarding, renal failure. There's no medication anywhere on the earth. So, and let me just speak more broadly about it just a little bit. So if you look at your labs, especially those of you who have high blood pressure or diabetes, those are two of the primary killers of kidneys and damaging the liver. So if you have your labs and you see that your creatinine is going high, it's over 1. If it's over 1, there's trouble, just like the prostate for men. If your PSA is over 1, you're in trouble. But let's go back to renal. If your creatinine is over 1, you're in trouble. It means that there's inflammation, damage to the blood vessels in the kidney. If the EGFR, the filtration, the marker, if it's below 60, it means that your kidneys are damaged. It means that your liver is affected as well. So I'm going to say to all of you now, look at your labs. And if the EGFR is right there on the chemistry panel, some labs call it the chemistry panel, other labs call it the metabolic panel. If your EGFR is below 60, you're headed for trouble. If your creatinine is over 1, you're headed for trouble. And your doctors are not going to say anything to you. They're going to say they're going to keep watching it, drink water. But when you drink the water, when you go to the doctor in 6 months, the numbers are going to be higher. And then you get to a point where your EGFR is 40 or 30, and the creatinine is 2 or 2 point something, not even 3, 2 point something. And what are your doctors going to say? We need to start prepping you for dialysis. So the doctor watch it for months or years until you get to the point where you have failure. Your kidneys fail because there's no medication. And if your doctor said they're watching something, you should be frightened. Whatever it is. Client came to see me yesterday, I'm not going to say his name, probably listening right now, driving his truck into Pennsylvania. He's a truck driver. And he's been seeing this oncologist for the last several years. And sometimes the oncologist is doing screening in his blood every 3 months, sometimes every 6 months. And his wife said to him, honey, you really should talk to Aston. She's been saying it to him for like 2 years or so. You should talk to Aston to see, why are you talking to an oncologist? If your primary care refer you to an oncologist, it means even if the primary care doctor or physician didn't tell you that he or she sees evidence of cancer, if they refer you to an oncologist, it means that cancer is in their thinking and you should start taking action. All this screening, monitoring, that's good. Same thing for the kidney, that's good, but you have to take action. And now this gentleman is at the point where his wife is saying that he is clearly sick. I can see it in his skin, I can see it in his face. He's losing his mind, he's losing his focus. And she said she was afraid to say it to him because she didn't want him to get upset with her. And finally, she dragged him to see me in Bronxville. And it hits home with him that he says something is wrong. I know something is wrong. I'm getting tired. I'm losing weight. And the poor man was just frightened. Same thing with kidneys. If you see those numbers, the EGFR going below 60, you're in trouble. If you see the creatinine going over 1, you are in trouble. What I'm saying to you all is that you should monitor this yourselves. And if you ask your doctor questions about these issues, the PSA is over 1, you ask your doctors and they dismiss you, find a new doctor. When you go to the store and you buy a pair of shoes, you try it on and it feels good, and you take it home and you put it on and now it's squeezing you. Do you just keep it or you take it back? Same thing with a doctor. Get a new doctor. All right.
All right, great. Dale Mars says hi. He says, good morning. My name is Dale. I'm new to NuSpecies. Hi, Dale. Thank you so much for being here with us. If there's anything that we can talk about that would be useful to you as someone who's completely new, I know a lot of what we talk about on this show is with our existing clients, and they're already very familiar with NuSpecies. So we would, if there's a topic that
some of our clients know more than us, Dale. Okay. They've been around for 15, 20 years. They know more than we do.
It's so hard to hire new employees because our clients know more than they do.
We should hire our clients. We should hire our clients. That's what we should do. June, you want a job? You want to move down to New York?
I think she's pretty comfortable up there in the boons.
Yeah. Nice, clean, fresh air.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dale, feel free if you want us to back up or broaden our horizons here to help you understand better what NuSpecies does and how we can help you, then please go ahead and put a question in the chat. Just a heads up to everyone, because I'm heading to Bronxville today after the show. And Aston has to get to his calendar because, as you heard, he got a little bit behind yesterday.
And I'm now getting yelled at before all you all, so you know, I do get yelled at.
Yeah, I think you get yelled at a lot.
I do.
We all do, but we understand. A lot of people who come to NuSpecies are under a lot of stress, and they're hoping that NuSpecies is going to be the light in that dark journey.
And we are.
And we are, but when we fall short, you don't have patience for that, and we get it.
Because we set our standards so high, you know, and we're not going to lower our standards, so you all don't freak out now.
Right.
Our standards are going to stay high, but yes.
Right. So having said that, because Aston's got to catch up on his calendar, and I've got to get to Bronxville, we are going to end pretty promptly at about 10:30 or 10:40. So I know, folks, sometimes you warm up a little bit late in the Q&A, and you start getting all your questions in just as we're wrapping up. So I want to give you that heads up if you have something to say. Say it now. All right. Okay. Andrea got her package. Wonderful. Hi, Maxine. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. All right. We don't actually have any. I'll check Instagram.
Julia has a question.
What?
July.
Suzanne, July. Now you're going to get me saying her name wrong.
I kill your name
again.
again.
Yes, Suzanne. Sorry.
I murder your name again.
Gosh. Aston, you actually followed the chat and remembered we missed a question? That's amazing.
Yeah, I see the name, July.
If I had some sound effects, I'd be hitting.
Yeah.
Okay. Suzanne says, is the LNU25 good for the brain?
It's the best formula we have for the brain and the heart. The LNU25 is the best formula we have at NuSpecies to help rebuild the brain, rebuild the heart. So if you have any kind of brain issues, whether it's just memory or you have nerve issues with the brain, you have Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, you have any issue with the brain, you have tumors, you have cysts, you have lumps. A lot of you have pituitary gland issues, which is the gland that monitors the other glands and hormones throughout the whole body. If you have issues with that gland, it's the LNU25 is simply easily the best formula we have for the brain and the heart, probably the two most important organs in the body.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. Yes. And then some people add in the vitamin D if that could be contributing if they're very low for brain stuff.
This is
Ooh,
June's comment.
Aston's on top of it today.
So when was I never on top of it? What's going on? I'm being attacked today.
Well,
I am being attacked today. I'm going to take a vacation.
all right,
I'm taking a vacation because you all not telling me the truth when I'm off and when I'm on, and I'm off. I've been off all these weeks, and today I'm on. I don't even know the difference why I'm on today.
All right, you just happen to look at the chat and be able to track all the things
So
happening
they're
in
always
there.
yelling at me, and I didn't
Oh
know.
no one's ever putting you down. I would
I didn't say
definitely, I
put
would
down.
definitely
I didn't
read
say
that.
I didn't say put me down. I said yelling at me because June is yelling at me.
All right, let's get to our good friend Dale here. We don't want to make him run away after he finally joined us.
Okay.
All right, Dale is saying, I am a hairstylist and I have been experiencing issues with rashes on my hands. The only thing that helps is a steroid cream. Stress appears to trigger the itch. Could this be internal?
So I have, over the last 20 years, I have come across a lot of different skin issues. I have never come across a skin issue that wasn't related to the liver. So, any one of you, just speaking broadly, who have lumps in your skin, rash in your skin, any kind of issue on your skin, it is almost always a reflection of what's happening in the liver. So, what you should do, Dale, is one, you should do your labs and bring it into us or send it in. You can fax it into us. You can email it into us. So do your labs and make sure you ask your doctor to do the liver panel. And secondly, Dale, what you need to do, you need to get a referral from your primary care physician for a doctor who can do chemical testing. They can run the various common chemical tests in your body, in your bloodstream. So you could see if you're having any kind of poisoning from chemicals or metals or metal dust that you may be exposed to. Usually these skin issues are related back to chemicals. And for a lot of women who have the skin issues, ladies, if you didn't know, a lot of you have acne and all these things. For a lot of women, it's hormonal because their bodies are producing too much estrogen. And because the body produces too much estrogen, now and not enough progesterone, for a lot of you ladies, what happens is that your hormonal system kicks in where your body starts to produce excess steroids and the stress hormones. And when they're producing excess, they're like poison. And the liver that produce a lot of these, the adrenal gland and the liver produce a lot of these different hormones. Your body is not strong enough to purge itself of these excess hormones, and they become free radical that damage the liver, damage your organ, ladies, damage your uterus, damage your ovaries. That's why you get ovarian cysts, that's why you get endometriosis, that's why you get fibroids, that's why you get thyroid issues, that's why you have dense breasts, and that's why you have a lot of skin issues. And but for men, it's primarily chemicals exposure that have caused this. And you did mention that you're associated with it's a hair salon or barber.
Right, he said a hairstylist, so I'm gonna assume that doesn't mean a barber, and I would say the difference is, I mean, I'm assuming that hairstylists are probably working with a whole lot more chemicals on a daily basis than barbers. But Dale,
So
you can chat again and confirm if there's more details we should have.
right, so a lot of the chemicals that are used in that industry are carcinogenic. The last time I checked, was about 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know if changes have been made, but if you're exposed to chemicals, that could be part of the issue you're having, or it could be the issue entirely you're having. So, what we can do for you, we can help you to purify your body. It may take 6 months to a year. So, you just taking our detox, We have a detox system. You could start with it. The whole system to help to clean the blood, help to detox the blood, help to detox the lymphatic system, and detox the digestive tract, the stomach, the intestine, the colon. It's not a washout. It's not a diarrhea. That's where I would start you until you get me those labs. And you should get me those labs with the greatest urgency, including the chemical testing to be done by a doctor or whoever who can do it for you to see what chemicals are in your body. And usually these doctors who do, they do allergic testing, they're the ones who sometimes would do that type of chemical testing, but you should get those two labs to us as soon as you can so we can do further analysis on what's causing the skin issues.
And Dale, I just put in the chat a link to a testimonial that we got from another person who was working with chemicals, and he was developing very bad rashes on his hands. And after using our products for some time, those rashes started to clear up. So I just put the link to that testimonial from our YouTube page for you to watch. All right. Andrea just opened her package and realized that the new gen doesn't have a label. Would you like to address that?
Yes.
Oh, and also, sorry. So Andrea, I know it's in the plastic bottle. So remember, we're doing this product 50% off because it's just launching. And so we were intending, it will end up in glass right now. We want to switch the glass bottle we're using. It's still going to be the maroon violet glass, but we want to change from the square bottle to a round bottle. So in the meantime, it's just in the plastic bottle. These are just the first batches we're getting out there. So that's why it says glass, because we put it in our system when we thought it was going to be glass, but it's not glass yet. And then Asen, you can address the new label.
Right. So I have been recommending the New Genesis primarily. I'm trying to pull up Andrea here. I have been recommending it primarily to existing clients. So
this is for Andrea Gibbons,
right.
She's been using.
I've been doing that because I consider you all family, and so the formula has no label, and I hope I had mentioned that. If I did not mention it, then for now the formula has no label, but we are going to get some label on it between now and next week. We have the labels, but what Joe says is that it's part of the reason, not the whole reason, but it's part of the reason why it's priced down. It's also priced down, because I want all of you to try it. I want all of you to use it. So label or no label, you trust me. And if Andrea, if you can always return it if you feel uncomfortable. That has no label. That's fine. You can just take it back, or we can send you a box. So you can send it back to us. But for all of our clients right now who are using it, they have no label on it as well, and there won't be an official label for a while. Yeah.
She said, "Sounds good. Is it supposed to taste like pepper?" I said, "Yes, it's supposed to have a bit of a spice to it."
A little bit of kick.
She said, "No, I will use it."
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Use it. It's great. Olivia Bowen had quickly mentioned above that she's on her 2-week mark of her journey with NuSpecies, and she's feeling good already.
Okay.
It's amazing. Thank you so much. I'd love to hear that. That's actually why we always insist that you have when after you purchase, we try to book a 2-week follow-up with Aston. It's not because we're trying to get you to purchase something else unless you actually need it, but we're usually just trying to see. We don't want you to get more than 2 weeks into your program without seeing if you're noticing something. We can't force your body to do what we want it to do, but we are hoping it will start doing something so that you have an idea that the body is receiving, digesting, and utilizing our products in a helpful way. And that will give you a foreshadowing to what to expect into the future. If someone isn't noticing anything on that 2-week mark, maybe that's just what it's going to be. It'll take longer. Or sometimes Aston knows he wants to make a quick adjustment to your dose.
Which I do very, very often, as you NuSpecies know.
Right. And then if you had already agreed upon purchasing like a smaller package for a budget reason, and that may be why you're not noticing anything in 2 weeks, it's a good check-in point to just say, okay, is this how you want to continue? Are you sure you don't want to do more? And we just stay in sync and stay on the same page. So it's very important that after you purchase, if you are working with Aston, that you always allow us to book you that 2-week follow-up. All right. Dale said thank you. Dale is a woman. And maybe it's Dale. I'm sorry. I just saw Dale and assumed. But anyway,
Yeah, July.
yeah, we will inevitably mess with
Dolly,
names.
Dale. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but also Dale said, I do wear chemical resistant gloves, but it does not make much difference. Because the chemicals are you're breathing them in too.
Yeah, they're invisible
That's the
particles.
thing, and
Yeah.
I mean, I've never walked into a salon where I haven't smelled. I mean, I don't get a headache within a few minutes, and I hate going to salons. I do everything in my power to avoid. I don't do my nails. I get my hair trimmed quickly. I wash my own hair. I walk in with wet hair. They go like, and I walk out because the chemicals are just unbelievably powerful, and you stop smelling them because it's the environment you're used to. It's a very toxic environment, and it's a tough thing because obviously it's your career. It's what you're doing for a living. It's not something you can just switch. And there's very little you can really do to avoid that exposure. Even a salon I go to where they have an air purifier, I mean, they would really need to do some major purification to avoid to cut back on that exposure. So whether it's directly on your skin, you're breathing it in the air, it's getting into your body. And your body's going to try to push them out as best it can. It's not going to be able to keep up, but it's normal to get skin rashes when your body's trying to push stuff out. So, like, even when you start using NuSpecies formulas, you may notice the rashes getting worse as your body is trying to purge toxins.
Hmm.
And, we don't know how long that lasts or how bad it'll be, but it's a process you'll have to go through. And unfortunately, since your exposure is chronic, it may be something you always go through. Um, but typically, once we see something like a rash, your body is like, I can't deal with this anymore. It's getting
Right.
backed up.
Right. The liver and the kidneys, the two detoxifiers in our organs that detoxify things in our body just got overwhelmed. And now it's just floating around in the bloodstream and it pop out through the skin. We have organs in the skin, believe it or not, that protect this, that protect the skin, that protect other creatures from getting into our bodies. We have millions of organs, in the layers. We have like 3 or 4 layers in our skin protecting our bodies. But when those chemicals hit those organs just try to push it out. And that's why people get lumps and bumps and rash and all these conditions with the skin is because it's internal. They're chemicals, free radicals, inflammation in the body. The liver just can't push to the fecal matter. The kidneys can't push to the urine, and it just pop out in the skin. So our skin is the other organ that help to, not just to cool our bodies down, but to clean our bodies.
All right, we'll get to our last question here. Olivia says, "Do you have anything for low iron?" And then Andrea, we can quickly address your question too, and then we will be wrapping up for the day.
Okay, so that's that's not even $1 million question, considering that there are now 8 billion people on the earth, and most of these people are women. It's $1 billion question. So a lot of women. With men, it's different. If a man is anemic, he has other serious issues going on. So, guys, if your hemoglobin is low, you're in trouble. You should just call me. Just come in. Just call me. Get a consultation or see me in person. So, a woman usually who has iron issue, you don't have an iron issue. You have a blood issue. Your blood, usually for women who come to me, whether it's menstrual or just being anemic, because the red blood cells, especially the hemoglobin, is low, you have a low blood count issue. That's a problem. So ladies will come to me and say, "Oh, I need iron." Well, your doctors, if your hemoglobin gets below 8 or 9, get below 9 or 9 or 8 or even 7. Some doctors say if it gets to 5, they're going to do a blood transfusion. They're going to do iron infusion. The problem is this: if the hemoglobin is low, the hemoglobin is what carries iron, right? So if the hemoglobin is low, if your blood count is low, you're going to push a lot of iron into your system. But what's going to hold all that iron? Where is all that iron going to go? Because you don't have enough hemoglobin to carry the iron to the cells. So this is like putting the cart to pull the horse. But it's the best our medical system can do. So this is not a critique of doctors. It is not a critique of the medical system. It is a critique of, or it's an understanding of how much we don't know how to help certain issues the human body has. So if you are anemic because of menstrual, because you're losing blood, whether from the kidney, the liver, the intestine, those are the common areas where people lose a lot of blood, especially they lose a lot of hemoglobin. You have to fix the root cause. If it's because of menstrual, then you have a hormonal issue where your cycle is too heavy, and that could be why you are anemic. And so we at NuSpecies, we help to fix the root cause. So if you have a hormonal issue, we fix your hormonal issue, and guess what's going to happen? Your blood count is going to go up, right? It may take a month or two or three, but it's going to go up. The reason why it may take a month, two or three, or even longer is because the bone marrow is programmed by our DNA and genes to produce only so much blood in a given period of time. It's not because you're chronic anemic, your blood count is, your hemoglobin is 5. Your body is not just going to automatically produce a lot of hemoglobin to bring it back up to 12 or 13. It's not going to happen overnight. Our bodies are programmed, people. Our bodies are the ultimate computer system that we still don't understand, even though we have mapped our genome. So you come to us. That's why you bring your labs. That's why you bring your imaging, so we can do the analysis to see the root cause of your issue. That's how we work at NuSpecies. And all the NuSpecies on the phone right on the stream right now, they will tell you that when you come to NuSpecies and you come to Aston, one of the first things that I ask you for is to please get me a lab. Otherwise, we're just going to take your money and not do anything for you. And we're not that people. And that's why the people in the chat can tell you, I yell at probably all of them.
It goes both ways, then, you say.
To bring me those labs, because I want to see that you all get results. Because you earn your money the hardest way in this country, and you deserve the best. And that's what we try to do.
Right.
So bring us your labs.
We do have to wrap up. I don't know if this changes anything. Andrea says, I use Floridix for iron because I'm always cold and I have a low blood count.
You're cold because of the low iron. Low iron means you have low oxygen. It means that your body is deoxygenated. If you don't have enough iron, you won't have enough oxygen, because guess what? The iron attaches to oxygen, and that's one of the ways our bodies get properly oxygenated. And I'm going to say this now for all of you. One of the primary cause of all cancers is poor oxygen in our bodies, not enough oxygen in our bodies. And that's why a lot of you women get ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, endometrial cancer, breast cancer, thyroid cancer, because those organs have lumps and bumps. A fibroid is a bump. You have cysts, and these are areas that have very little or no oxygen. And that's why these conditions, the dense breast turn to cancer, the nodules on the thyroid turn to cancer, the fibroids turn to cancer, the endometrial tissue that's hardening for years turn to cancer, causing endometrial cancer. Now, ladies, if you didn't know, you can say today, you know why women get these cancers, and they are entirely avoidable. Unfortunately, your doctors are going to say what I just said, because your doctors don't have medication to help you. And if you go to your doctor tomorrow and say, doctor, I need this endometriosis to get better, how are you going to make it better? Can you make it better? Your doctor's not going to say no. Do you know why your doctor's not going to say no? Because if they say they can't help you, they're going to lose you. They're going to lose a patient because you're going to find another doctor. That's why doctors don't tell you, because they're going to lose you. And then you're going to go to the next doctor, and you get, what do you call it, medical prison?
I call it, medical
No,
prison.
you're in medical prison, searching for doctors, going to hospitals and emergency rooms and medication, and no one is going to tell you they can't help you with these issues.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, is when you go to a medical doctor expecting anything other than a medical treatment, then you're the one who's not making any sense. And if they don't have a medical treatment, they're not likely to sit there and explain to you why they don't have a treatment. One, because they're not being paid to spend that kind of time. But two, because like Aston said, as long as you're their patient, they're going to wait until you develop something that they can treat. And then they don't waste time explaining that either.
It's sad.
Yeah.
And it's sad. And you all know I'm telling the truth. But this is not a statement against doctors or medical system in the United States, the greatest country on earth, the greatest medical system on earth, but it's the best we have. It's the best the doctors can do. And doctors come to us, NuSpecies come to me with these same issues I just talked about. Gynecologists come to me. All these doctors come to me with these same issues.
All right. I see some more comments and questions. I'm so sorry, Yvonne. I lost track there of your question earlier. And I see some follow up comments from Olivia and Andrea. But
rejoin next week.
Yeah, please come back next
and
week.
let us pick up right from here. We're going to make next Saturday part 2. And if you have women in your family, girls in your family, friends in your family, neighbors in your family, who you know or think have these issues, join next Saturday, and let's let them join and let them hear it for themselves, because no doctor is going to tell them until they get breast cancer, they get endometrial cancer, they get ovarian cancer. And we at NuSpecies don't want you to get these issues, and that's why we preach and educate. We don't want you to come to us with cancers. I'd rather be out playing golf right now. It's 10:45.
Well, we're not saying that we cannot help you if you come to us with cancer. It's just obviously much easier, and it will cost you a whole lot less if you come to us before you develop something that's serious. But certainly, if you have developed that, please do come to us.
And tell the men to join as well, because the men don't know what you're going through. They don't know. To tell the men in your life to join the call and listen in and ask questions, because they don't know you're suffering. They don't know. They don't understand.
Dale says amen to that. That's true. I know it's kind of sad if Aston, you understand more what they're going through than their own family, especially their husbands. So we're here to help in any way. Get your husbands to join, family members to join. Next week, we'll jump back into blood count, fibroids, endometriosis.
Part 2.
Low oxygen, how to help your body, how to fix that, help your body fix that. Yvonne, we'll get to your question about, I'm assuming RA is rheumatoid arthritis. We'll get to that next week as well. So
next week, we'll talk about how all you women can avoid these cancers and why it's coming to you, why it may come to you, why you had it, how to avoid them. We're going to talk about that next week. How to avoid these organs, the uterus, the ovary, the breast glands, the thyroid turn into cancer. It's entirely avoidable, entirely. Okay? All right.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. I love these conversations with you. Again, you always get warmed up there toward the end. So try to submit questions throughout the week on NuSpecies app. Please download our app if you have not already. And that way, when these things pop into your head, you can just go ahead and post. I don't care if you spam us. Just every time something pops in your head that you'd like us to address, get it there in the app. And if we don't have enough time on every single show, we could even make separate videos about them and post them on YouTube for you. All right. Also, if you haven't joined our email list yet, I don't have the link to grab it myself. But if you go to our website and you have not joined our list yet, a pop-up should come right up and ask you to put in your name, your email, ideally your birth date, so we can send you discounts on your birthday. And you'll give us permission to market to you, hopefully your phone number as well, so you can get text messages. We're trying to build a new marketing list on a new platform so that we can offer much better marketing, more targeted marketing. So let's say every time Bronxville closes, I'm not emailing everyone who shops in Elmont. So we're trying to just have a bit more sophisticated marketing. This new program I think is going to be great. So please sign up for it. If you think you're already on our list, just email and confirm that we have your most up-to-date email and phone number for those marketing efforts. And you can always join our rewards program on the homepage of our website. It's right down at the bottom of the website. It says check rewards. When you click on that, if you're not logged into our site, it will ask you to either log in or create an account. Please do that. And that will allow you to start earning points for every dollar you spend with NuSpecies. And this will also send you your coupons on your birthday. It will allow you to share about NuSpecies on social media and get points for that. But most importantly, which all of you have been bugging us about for years, is referral points. You want some credit when you refer people to us, and we completely understand. So, what we've done is we can't give you a direct discount or money for referring people to us. It's not legal. But if you refer someone to us, you will earn enough points that will immediately get you a discount on your next purchase. So, when you log into the NuSpecies website, you can check your rewards, go to the refer a friend link. You will get your own unique link. You can then send that link to your friends and family, and anyone who purchases with that link will get 10% off themselves. And then you will immediately get your allotment of points for having referred that person. So please join our rewards program, join our marketing, help us reach out to you and give you the support and the perks that you need to keep going on your own unique health journey.
And if you like NuSpecies or like our programming, please subscribe. And do it now before you get off if you haven't subscribed us yet. We need to get to 1,000.
Right, on YouTube, we need to get to 1,000, yes, in order to have access to some better features. I think we're at like 973. So Dale, you're new with us today. If you haven't subscribed, please. And anyone else who hasn't, hit subscribe, hit the like buttons, hit the bell, all the stuff. Click it all, make us look great. Help us reach more people and help us serve you better by leveraging these tools that YouTube provides. All right, have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next Saturday at 10 a.m.
Bye-bye.